Guess the song's over then. Guess so. Okay.
I lowered my bitrate slightly. It seems to have stabilized as far as I can tell, so I'm just gonna play it by ear. And hope for the best. There's not a whole lot I can do. Hello. Hello, gamers. This is the case of the Golden Idol. Yeah, if you haven't refreshed, you should refresh just to make sure that you're lined up with the stream, but it should be okay now. Welcome, everybody. I played Case of the Golden Idol when it first came out. This game rules. I really enjoyed it. It was short, sadly, but good. And now I'm gonna finally play the DLC. Hoping they continue to produce good DLC because the base game was fantastic. The Spider of Lanka, the overly enthusiastic card game tournament in the Yellow Lily. So they were playing a card game containing archers, boars, centaurs, and peasants. I mean, I don't know a lot about this game, but at a glance it seems like the player on this side was winning. Something's going on over here. Something's spilling. He got a chakram in the back of his head. The man is not breathing. Hey everyone. Just wanted to let you know that this gentleman is not breathing at the moment. A stiletto blade with a stiletto with a clean blade. Dagger. That man has been chakrammed. Let us leave this unsavory watering hole. You do not appear to have sustained any serious injury, but perhaps a stiff drink will help settle your nerves. Dr. Oberon Geller, surgeon and hypnotherapist, Island of Lanka. A surgical kit. I don't know what the treated label here is for. An empty pistol and a loaded pistol. What in the blazes? They are all dead. Thank you for saving my life, kind sir. My dear Zubri, upon my arrival in just a few days, we will depart Jampur together. Jampur. While you await me, I beg you continue to apply yourself to your studies. As Lemurians, we may be held in high regard in Lanka, but we must not become careless and besmirch the Kara family name. Father. So this person's name is Zubri Kara? Are you skilled at Pajak? Test yourself and win money in this grand tournament. Broke something? Pay for it. Too drunk to play? Get out. Lost all your money? Game over. Someone cheated? Sort it yourself. Jesus. The management accepts no liability if you decide to play against Bill. Yeah, fuck Bill. Man is asleep and appears to be completely drunk. It's crucial to our operations to the South Seas to secure trading fortresses in the Lanka archipelago. Regrettably, Lemuria continues to object to it and advises the local rulers against our presence. The Lemurians cannot project their power directly, but they still have spiritual authority in the Lankan kingdoms, which used to belong to the now crumbled Lemurian Empire. The Lemurian influence on Lanka must be broken. Cooperate with our agents in the region, in particular Mage, Widower, and Doctor could prove useful. Remember that your reward for a job well done will be enormous. SSC. When drawing lots for match pairings, arrange it so the newcomer plays against the best player here. He wants to test his skills. Sword. I think the audio balance is a little off. I'm just gonna turn it down just a hair. He's got peasants, boars, and centaurs, and all archers and peasants on this side. I don't know how you win this game. I wonder if I'm supposed to figure out who is winning. Because I might have to figure out who the best player is. Let's collect all these names. Zubrikara is unranked. Okay, so Bill is the best player. Oh, they just have, like, scores next to their name. Guitar blade. Man is not breathing. We got some chakrams over here. Well, that probably has something to do with the chakram in this guy's head. Oberon wants to embarrass himself again. Round up Sri and Reuben from the ship and meet at the Yellow Lily around 10, Quartermaster. Okay. Who killed whom chronologically? Order the Bajak cards starting with the strongest and ending with the weakest cards. Ooh, that's tough. And we're identifying these people. So this is Zubri Kara. Which leads me to believe that Bill is the guy who's at the empty table. Oh, so this guy is from this table, maybe? And this guy... Is this guy Bill? Are you Bill? Hey, are you Bill? Pardon me. Quartermaster, this time I will beat you in Pajak. Get your crew and we shall play in the 8-player tournament at the Yellow Lily. Necklace made of human ears. A normal thing. A normal sort of necklace. A big and slightly bloody knife. Okay, so I can base off of this table that this must be Oberon and Carlos. So I think Oberon and Carlos must be associated with this table over here. Which would make this Carlos, then. You are Carlos. Was it Carlos Luna? Yeah, and Oberon Geller is that guy over there, obviously. Alright, so let's see if we can figure out anything else here. Oh. I was under the impression this was 3 rounds they were playing, but these are 3 lines that are being played, and it's marking the wins in each one. So blue wins this one because boar beats peasant. And blue wins this one because archer beats boar. So I have most of an ordering if I can just figure out what happens with the centaur. It looks like 1 centaur beats 2 archers. Which would have to make the centaur the strongest one. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. So centaur, then archer, then boar, then peasant. had cheated, so he tried to take blah blah's something. Ear? Could be ear. All the rest of the yellow items are weapons, it looks like, but ear kind of makes sense. Okay, so the board for... So I'm looking for either... Okay, let's just... So 2 centaurs would have to be 2 boars. That's the only thing that makes sense. So 1 is yellow. 1 is the second player. Unless... Okay, so they have rosaries that tells me which side they're playing on. Or rosettes. So this is the yellow player. Yellow won the first hand. Blue won the second. And blue won the third. So that would make this Pandula. So you're Pandula. And that would make blue and blue wins here. You're blue. That would make you Sri Thagson. Okay. This guy has yellow and you have blue, so I think they're both associated with the same table. That logically makes sense to me. Yellow and blue. So on this board, it's yellow, yellow, blue. Yellow, yellow, blue. So yellow is Ruben Hendricks from this board. So you are Ruben Hendricks. Which makes the other person Gabriel Hubert. The one what has the chakram in his head. Which would have to make this Bill. Bill Price? Okay. As far as this board's concerned, it, so this board is the one associated with Bill and the newcomer. So you're yellow and you're blue. Or... larger. Yellow, yellow, yellow. So yellow wins across the row here. So he would have gotten 3 W's here for whatever that's worth. If that matters. So I think Zubri Kara's ear is the one that was trying to be taken because Bill thought he had cheated. Bill Price thought Zubri Kara had cheated, so he tried to take Zubri Kara's ear. Is this all about Bill? Just Bill, Price? Okay. So now I just have to figure out chronologically who killed whom? How do I have that information? I mean, I can certainly look at weapons, but... He says they're all dead. What clue do I have to what order this happened in? That seems really specific. Really specific. An empty pistol and a loaded pistol. Only one person seems to be dead from gunshot. Has a surgical kit. They all finish their hands. Meet at the Yellow Lily around 10? Okay, so Bill got stabbed by a sword, or a rapier. But I don't know that he was first to go down. Do I have to figure out who would be proficient with a rapier? Why would I have this information? Why would I have this information? I guess if I look at all the people who died, that might be enough, right? Because, like, for instance, this guy died, somehow. I guess I gotta figure that out. But he had the chakrams to kill this guy, so, I mean, the order has to work in that way. clean knife, clean dagger. I guess I can look at what they're holding too. A huge and bloody mace. So he hit him with a mace? That's why his head's bleeding? And then he got hit by a spear from someone. Harpoon. And he's got like a fish symbol on his arm, so maybe that's supposed to suggest that he's proficient with a harpoon, like he's a fisherman. Okay, I think I have an idea here. Okay, so the first person was Gabriel killing Bill. And then Sri used a chakram to kill Gabriel. And then Pandula used the mace to kill Sri. And then Carlos used the harp to kill Pandula. And then Oberon used a pistol to kill Carlos? Unbelievable. Okay. Have you played this, Patty? Gotcha. And other powerful people. ... The unfortunate accident at the Raja's court. Did not expect my first 7 Seas assignment to conclude so shockingly. No wonder these savage countries need to be civilized. Albert must strengthen relations with Abhaya, the Radiant, in order to establish a trading outpost in Lanka and bring these 4 locally produced pigments to Europe. Usharik, Aphid, Lakwa, and Sector. Our cultural tolerance department has provided a gift. Cultural tolerance, Jesus Christ. Let's provide a gift, a statue appropriate to these devil-worshipping societies. Find out if they appreciated it. Consider pretending to be a devil worshipper too. Will do, boss.
Determined to go forward.
Nakarashi, thank you so much for the resub. Thank you for the 32 months, Nakarashi. Navigating by star, North Star. Once you're facing the North Star, you are facing north. Navigating by crescent moon. Imagine a line joining the endpoints down to the horizon. That direction is south. Wait, does that actually work? Is that legitimate? Video games are good. On the island of Lanka, as with many other former colonies of the Lemurian Empire, the lingua franca is common Lemurian. Note the honorific master is followed by the surname. For the last century, the island of Lanka has been divided in 3 kingdoms, each named by their rulers and family. They are Jaffna, Gamni, and Vijaya kingdoms. Each kingdom is ruled by the Raja, who subjugates the peasantry, enabling the cheap production of cloth, pigments, and spices. A toothbrush is the gift? Is that my... who knows? Albert, I will not be able to accompany you on your first Seven Seas mission. A pressing matter requires my attention. Ignore whatever rubbish Central Office has suggested. Befriend Putra. He has the Raja's ear. When you arrive, place the gift in the location as instructed on the wrapping paper. It's meant to be a surprise. Okay. You are Albert. Keep your mouth shut, boy. Your father committed a murder and cannot be forgiven. Undoubtedly, His Highness will demand your life. Position guards outside the chamber of trials during the test in the morning. Only my children and the priest must be allowed in there. The priest forbids the presence of any Westerners during the ritual, but we do not wish to insult a man of the Seven Seas Company. Entertain Albert Cloudsley, Esquire, by showing him the gardens during the ceremony. Meanwhile, allow nobody to enter the ritual hall except me, my children, the Lemurian delegation, our noble blade master. A key. Cease your threats, Lincoln lackey. I am not to blame for my father's deceptions, but perhaps this is the price we pay for our stagnating culture. Beg you, cease to request that we meet. You know it is unwise. Venerable Upik must be the Raja. Watchful eyes notice everything. He is your father, and you know his character. Oh no, it's her father. His father. He will not tolerate such transgression. I am mere servant, must know my place. I can never be part of the Kara family, Ari. Don't worry, young Lemurian. If it is meant for you to die today, it will be by my hand, and swift. I have killed many people for the right and wrong reasons, such as the Dharma of the warrior. If you found anything that might help me earn my rightful title, then you can be by my side forever. Leave it in the bush by the pyre. That insufferable Putra has his dog search our things regularly, so we must be careful. Deadliest arthropods of Lanka. A sector spider, feed only twice a week. Calmarian scorpion, quick and painful death. Plain beetle, the merciful killer, like falling asleep. Legion centipede, after death, victim's body bloats like a balloon in minutes. Nesting cricket, bite stops heart quickly. Small spider, scorpion, a cricket, centipede, a beetle. Wear yellow in the evenings, do not mourn the black ocelot, be untamed and forget your worries. Do dream of green wilderness, gift your guests impulsive gifts, release your inner lion when in doubt, furthest leap, the hardest landing. Beast of honor is a rare sight, disrespect emperor and fall like a leaf. Hunter enjoys the morning sun, eat breakfast, sing poems, do not trust your servant, trust your instinct. On your last day, just roar at the sky. Sector Inc. Okay. You wanted life for life, O most radiant and magnificent Raja. Has this information satisfied your needs? Sharing the secret, I will allow your Zubri Zubiri to live, but he must join me on the journey as insurance for your honesty. You are free to leave with your delegation. Magnificent. Some encoded correspondence is being exchanged between someone at the palace and somebody else. I do not like it, and my spies are working overtime to discover who is behind this. Still believe it is safe for your children to undergo the test and for the chosen one to go through the rites of rebirth. The Lemurian saint confirms that the ritual is the same as when you were sworn in when you came of age. By day's end, you will have your heir, your highness, master's son. Blocked by ink. Magnificent Raja. I accept your invitation to facilitate the test and the initiation. Our delegation will arrive with necessary equipment at the start of November. Regarding the Westerners, you already know that we strongly advise against trading with them. They do not understand the importance of Lemurian tradition, and their ways are impure. High Priest of the Kara clan. May you travel from darkness to light, from death to immortality, dear sister. Death is a mere illusion that appears to those who cannot grasp absolute reality. Despite their name, the Infernal Guard... Okay, hold on. Before I read that, which I'm almost certain is a code just like the other one, I want to take another look at the code. Trying to figure out how you determine which word to look at. The picture is the key. Picture is the key. It's a picture of a lion. So how did it pick the word yellow in this line and ocelot in this one? There's a lot of types of codes, and this one's not any of the obvious ones I can think of. What's the other one look like? While observing the Seven Seas Company gift to the Raja. Seven Seas Company's gift to the Raja. Blood and red paint on the wound. Stiff ornamented apron made of wood. Rotate the line. Every fourth same color, circle, circle, square. The number of horizontal lines multiplied by 6. It's easy, just look carefully. Rotate the line for the same color. Throw me in the eye? This is counting the number of triangles, almost certainly. And this is matching in 3D space, which is... This is the wrong answer? Wait, is it the wrong answer? No, it's not. It's fine. That's the right answer. So this should have been the right answer as well. These all seem correct to me. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 3 is 18. That seems right to me. This is a failure. This is a success. This guy's G, right? No, this guy is the one we already know from the previous chapter. Something Kara. Supri. Okay, so I still need to figure out how this code works. Nope. Thank you, though. Picture is the key. Okay, what does that mean, though? Is the key. Two, 6, 2. 5, 5, 4, 2. So it doesn't seem to be tied to like a numeric thing, as far as I can tell at a glance. It doesn't matter which word in the sequence it is. So what am I missing? Is it just all words related to the lion? That's it, right? It's all... Okay, it's all words related to the lion. I'm overthinking it. Okay, so he has this. It's like a mouth, a gift, kind of looks like a toothbrush, teeth. So all the words that pertain to that? What was the gift, though? Oh, is it tobacco? On a spoon pointed at a mouth. So that's the sector ink. This is the blue stuff, Lakwa. So I think whatever's on the fingers of this person here, that's Lakwa.
Never give up.
You can just zoom in by scrolling. That's actually pretty cool. Double Donut, thank you so much for the resub. Thank you for 37 months, Double Donut. Yeah, I didn't know either, until I just, like, instinctively scrolled the mouse wheel. Aphid ink and Ushark ink were the two inks used. So I just have to figure out who used which ink. Show me your fingers. So this is Anula here, and this is Tissa. Here. I'm gonna assume this guy is Putra. Your Zubri to live. So this is the father, I guess? You pick. He has a key. If you sail? If you fail, something in my I haven't quite figured it out yet. Or at all. Lanka. Royal Blade Master G. Is G the last name? The first name? I'll try flipping those in a second. Okay. I know some parts of the name, I don't know all of them though. I don't know if it's Jian Ji or Ji Jian. I don't know how the naming works here, and I guess he's referred to himself as G more times, and most people seem content with, referring to people on a first name basis, so... I gotta go back and find where I found some of these names so I have context for them. Jaffna, Gamni, and Vijaya. We're in Lanka, so this is the Vijaya Kingdom. Which means that this has to... be here. Now, I know Jian is the Royal Blade Master because of this. Where did I get Jian from? Where did I get that name? Warrior Jian. I guess Sukera might not be correct. Nula succeeded. Doesn't fail. Is it the last name slot? Yeah, I knew it wasn't that. Do I have their names wrong somehow? What's going on up here? You drink, then you lay down. Guess that explains how the ceremony works. Anula and I will be evaluated. gotta be the last name slot. I thought this was the Vijaya family? Son is the spy master. The spy master is master's son.
Determined to go forward.
Tofile, thank you so much for the tier 2 sub for 36 months. Thank you so much, Tofile. Wait, are you the spy master then? Okay, well now we know how to write it. It's Giant G, that's correct. Yeah, I have the right name. Is this not the right name for you? Abhaya was the Raja, I thought. Someone literally said that. Abhaya the Radiant. Is that not right? It's gotta be a name thing I'm not figuring out here. Those are locations. I feel like the name is Vijaya. What am I missing though? This person's a servant. Where did I get the name Sun from? Oh, from the note about the Spy Master's investigation. Master Sun. Which does seem to match this thing saying that... where is it? Befriend Putra, he has the Raja's ear. Oh, wait, am I just now figuring this out? Hold on. Hold on. We're in Lanka. I do not know what's wrong here. It's definitely not that, right? Is there someone else in the delegation I'm missing? The Lemurian delegation consists of... Feels right. Title. Man, I'm stumped by this one. This one's something. Give me a moment. Give me just one moment. Sorry, I had to handle something really quickly. I feel like I have all the right information, which is why this is so baffling to me. It seems like there's some sort of misdirection that's happening here that's like completely flying under the radar for me. I think what I had figured out was that this is actually the gift right here. This statue. It hadn't occurred to me for whatever reason that it was the gift, but it's the gift, and I'm supposed to read all of this with that in context. So infernal and fire, that's if. Yelling, I guess ordeal. And unenviable, it's hard to tell, but that seems like it's saying you, if you. And then here, this is where it kind of falls apart. I guess fear, agony, infernal, and... I mean, it would have to be limbo to be fail. If you fail. Lava. Obstacles. Otherworldly. And killer. Look in my... M-O-U-T-H. Mouth. Look in my mouth. If you fail, look in my mouth. But I don't know what to make of that. There's something I'm missing here. I know that if I can just figure out what that one thing is, this will all fall into place, but... Lemurian servant girl. So is Ari actually part of the delegation then? Ari... No? Ah. At least I know I have those names right now. Oh, which one gives the blue ink then? Laqua? So that's the sector ink. Guess it's the cricket? I'll leave that there just as a note to myself. Hmm. Oh. That was weird. I know this isn't gonna be right, I'm just... So it's literally just those slots. I mean, I could brute force every last name possible, but I really don't want to do that. I'm trying to figure out why I'm missing data here. Is this not Lankapur? Is that what I'm missing or something? It's the last. It has to be the last name. I have one last thought. Okay. She has a note that I'm trying to figure out. Where is it? Anything that helped me might earn my rightful title. Rightful title. Wait, was he was actually consorting with the with her. This is a note he left to her in the bush. And that's why she passed. Rightful title. Which then does reframe this in a slightly different sense. Is he not the Blade Master? There's like no one left. He has to be the Blade Master. Man, I'm surprised at how stumped I am because I feel like I have all the information and I feel like I'm right. There's a red lock on here. He has a red key, presumably for opening it. They're the same shape as well. That gives that away. He was a double agent. Not yet. The amount of things I think I filled in correctly that I'm getting dinged for is driving me nuts, though. Okay, so let me revisit why I think Royal Blade Master G. G is Blade Master. Yeah. Correct. Spy Master Sun. Master Sun, my spies are working overtime. Yep, Spy Master Sun. Which leaves only, if I'm not mistaken, something else has to be wrong in there too. So I had the city wrong as well? I just have the city... Why do I have the city wrong? Hold on. Why do I have the city wrong? Where am I getting the city from? Somewhere I landed on what city this is, and I think I've been wrong this whole time. Where did I get the city from? I was convinced that I had seen it somewhere. That's why I didn't question it, but... Where did I get that this was Lankapur? I guess just because it was Lanka is the overall place. I just like, I guess I assumed. There's only one more choice. Okay. Well, now I know where we are. Where was I supposed to get that from? I don't mind being told, because I'm curious how I got so far off track. Can't seem to figure out a single place that points at where I am, actually. We're in the north. Did someone say something about the north or something? Navigating by North Star? Oh my god. I've been trying to figure out why this is relevant. I've been trying so hard to figure out why this is relevant. Yeah, south, and then there's that statue. Yeah. I got there first, it's fine. I did ask specifically, it's fine. My god, I can't believe I got by myself. Somewhere along the line, I convinced myself that something said that was Lanka poor, and I don't know why I convinced myself of that so fervently. It's good, I asked specifically. That's what we do around here. No, I did explicitly ask. Someone tell me. I'm just curious for the answer. I gave every indication I was looking for the answer. I happened to discover it simultaneously. But I did ask. It's good. I appreciate everyone being so cautious, but we're good. Hey Twig, how are you doing? I was asking how I was supposed to know what location we were in, and I discovered the answer as soon as someone answered my question, so... I don't know where I got Lankapur either. I think it's because the overall region is called Lanka, and in my brain, I saw Deadliest Arthropods of Lanka, and I'm like, boom, Lankapur, we're there. And I like, locked that in. I locked it in. That was an unmovable... That was unmovable from my brain. I was like, of course we're in Lankapur. The question was who killed whom. They both had the note, so I'm inclined to think that it was Tissa killing Anula. It was delivered by...
Never give up.
Hey, Anime Dad. Yeah, my stream is choking. Aqua harvested from the nesting crickets. Yeah, I'm just like perpetually dropping frames. I'm dropping like the vast majority of my frames. Sorry. Based on the writings, it doesn't seem to be the case that the brother killed the sister, but I feel like everything's pointing toward that, because they each had a note saying if you fail, look in the mouth. I did not know that, Void Lily. I'm doing commentary at 9 a.m., so maybe I'll get up early and watch Loom. I'm still missing the overall story of what's happening here. Throw me in the eye. Fuck does that mean? Pairs. Okay, so I was on the right track. There actually are two things that are wrong, though. Reveal the secret. Okay, so shipwright informer carpenter on the pirate ship Rabid Raccoon has a wooden leg, pretends to be drunk and quiet when it benefits him, steals and has instigated riots, made a fortune in Pajak, which makes me wonder if he hides cards in his wooden leg, somewhat dangerous. Surgeon hypnotherapist, probably an agent of the Seven Seas Company, has connections to the underworld. Is well respected among pirates for providing medical services to their people. Aquitanian Marquis. Despite his stature as a master swordsman, he's killed at least 7 people in duels and was subsequently banished from Aquitania, wears expensive clothing, afraid of heights, may attack without provocation. Extremely dangerous. Banished from the Society of Hermetic Thought for revealing their secrets, claims to be able to switch someone's life off. Several philosophers who had conflicts with him died from unexplained causes. Very dangerous. Sent by the Seven Seas Company head office to establish new trading posts in Lanka. Dangerous and very arrogant. Cannot be bothered to learn the basics of common Lemurian to improve his situation here. These are all 5 shareholders of Titania Printing House. All of them are affiliated with the Seven Seas Company. Have a good hunt. I hope you will arrest the bastard. Number the picture represents in the sentence, count to the word matching that number. So 1 and 5 or 0 and 5? Follow me? Red footprints going that direction. Basket maximum load 4 vases. Large cloak and a painted on beard. Guard front door. Missing mask. Guess this is the change in the tide level. Legend about the Fountain of Youth on a secret island and the rumors about the forbidden golden idol refer to the same thing. Meeting with nephew of the bookworm. Pick up the pistol from repairman. Buy supplies for the boat trip. Meeting with the double widower. Rehearse the escape plan. Meeting with the money bag. Meeting with the old butterfly. Meeting with the green boy. Guards will attack after Lemurian leaves. Good lord. Good lord. It's so much. Pardon me, sorry. So we know what time it is now, right? We can probably extrapolate that information. If that's at 6... here... then if this is 8 a.m. I mean, it might be worthwhile to just assume that this is 2 p.m. or so. 2 p.m. Buy supplies for the boat trip. These two guys have yellow shirts, that guy has a brown shirt. So this guy is the Jem'Dar Palace Guard, and the other two are a blue feather and no feather. Jem'Dar and Havildar? It's got to be relevant to something. Palace Guard and Special Guard is what I know. Meeting with the Double Widower, the Money Bag, Old Butterfly, and Green Boy. Those probably correspond to these. This guy is the Widower. He's not that old. Double Widower. So he met with Claude Devreau. Like, I haven't entirely figured out what I'm supposed to even be figuring out right now. Door. So I think these two guys are from the boat. This guy came down from the front door. So if this guy's the Jemadar, then the guy up there must have been the Halfadar? Halfadar? Kirthi Bandara? Hey Skybills, thanks for the raid. Welcome everybody, we are trying to solve this mystery with fairly limited information. Someone should have red feet, right? Someone has red feet, right? Whose feet are red? Show me your feet. Oh, well, that reads weird. I didn't mean it that way. Who got paint on their feet then? I don't understand how that's operative information. Yeah, this is the DLC for Case of the Golden Idol. I'm theoretically at the end, but God knows. Basket maximum load 4 vases. A vase weighs 30 sur. He weighs the equivalent of 3 vases. He weighs way more than 3 vases. So all of them could have fit in a basket except for Narcissus Montalban. Narcissus Montalban, if he got in the basket, it would have fallen. Theoretically. Is this large cloak supposed to be the sort of garish clothing that the other guy would have worn? Afraid of heights, so he would not have gone up to the top of the tower. Pubic Cara. Spider created a situation where he instigated where he saved. Oh. Oh, the spider is Oberon. No, what was his name? Geller? Oberon Geller? I don't know who the spider. This guy, though. The one that they were... So who's this guy? Who did they capture, then? Subiri Kara's life. To help the Seven Seas Company, the spider concealed? Not sure exactly how to read this one. Help the Seven Seas Company. Spider. Who, for the moment, I'll assume is Albert Cloudsley. I can confirm this if I input that last name. What was that last name? Kirthi Bandara? So I don't know who this is. I assume this would be Albert Cloudsley. Gunpoint, insolence, blasphemy. Yeah, maybe. mean, it's not Putro. Have I actually? Oh. I see. The cloak. Man, if they expect me to remember that, fuck. They do not know me that well, then. Rebirth ritual, I guess, is what that is. There we go. To help the Seven Seas Company, the Spider. That guy seems to have both legs. I guess the order of meetings probably matters in this regard. I know that's not right, but I just want to see if I'm close. If not. That's you pick? Okay, I'm getting there. It's just location of the idol? Because the spider had saved Zubiri's life, Yupik revealed the location of the golden idol. That makes sense to me. I guess it's actually here that Oberon had tipped off Sun? About the something. Mask of the Spider? No. Clothing? Okay, so it's these two that are wrong. Location of the spider. What? That doesn't make any sense. But I get it. Okay, so I was on the right track there. No, I'm on the right track there as well. None of these seem wrong to me. Okay. Future Sun had planned to ambush Oberon. Ambush Oberon. I mean, I know that was incorrect grammar. I'm just messing with stuff right now. It's literally two things that are wrong, which is probably just a name. But which name? Future Son. I'm gonna figure out which name it is. It's this one. Who warned him? Who would have warned him? Which would plan to ambush Oberon after the meeting. One of the other people? Why would it be one of the other people? They haven't come up once. Is it the Master of Secrets? The Master Libraries? So that was the note that he had. Master of Archive and Library. Oh, I was supposed to recognize... I was supposed to recognize that... Where is it? Here. Interesting. Interesting. That flew right under the radar for me. I definitely did not get that clue well enough. Anyway, that's the Spider of Lanka. I hope they do more of these. They've been fun to play. So I do hope we get more of them.